The government is famous for approving a spending plan in the 11th hour in the event of a shutdown. Communities along the U.S.-Mexico line, they're bracing for how federal staffing shortages might impact border security. Calls for increasing security have grown as immigrants overwhelm towns on both sides of the border. Congressional Republicans are demanding that the new fiscal spending plan be tied to improving security. For more, let's bring in Uvalde, Texas Mayor Don McLaughlin. Don, we have spoken many times on many different stories, so our thanks to you for being here again. I know that so many of us empathize with your community and others who are seeing the federal government literally ignore them when it comes to the border, straight up turn a deaf ear. But in researching the impacts of our more recent shutdowns, major news networks reporting that the government services deemed essential, like safety, national security, border security, those actually remain. Air traffic control, despite the shutdown. So what are your communities most afraid of?
Well, the Border Patrol right now is already short-staffed. So we've got people that have come from all over the United States down here to try to help, but still there's not enough people. So these people aren't under the same orders as the Border Patrol. So if the government shuts down, do they go back home? And then the shorthandedness that we're already seeing, the mass of people that are coming, it's all we can do now to try to control them. Mayor Salinas in Eagle Pass had to declare an emergency. There were so many came over at one time.
Yeah. It's absolutely true, a disaster declaration. Several House Republicans, including Texas Congressman Chip Roy, threatening to block the funding bill unless it's tied to border security. Is it worth it to you, do you think, and other border towns, for a government shutdown to actually happen if it means someone is finally in Washington going to do something to help control the border?
Well, we have to do something to hold this administration accountable because they could care less about the people along the southern border. They get on the news all the time and say, oh, the border is secure, the border is shut down. That's the farthest thing from the truth. And here we're going to give $4.5 billion to Ukraine, but we won't even secure our southern border. We don't know who any of these people are. Most of these people are young, adult-age males coming across this border.
Yeah, I've actually spoken to a number of them, oftentimes young men in their 20s, single men. But you're right, there's no vetting, there's no background checking at the border. So you're absolutely correct. There are a lot of Democrats, though, not just Republicans, who know this immigration situation is out of hand. They've pled with the federal government to relieve them, including the mayor of New York City. In El Paso and Eagle Pass, you could see how much people are coming through, thousands a day. If you had the ear of the most reasonable in Congress, what would you say to them ahead of this crucial funding deadline?
Well, first, let's sit down and go to the table and have a common sense discussion about securing this border. Let's do something that works for everybody. But, right now, we're approving all these people that are coming across that border and coming across that river. That is already illegal. It's already on the books that it's illegal. And yet we're going to reward these people, turn them loose in our country and that. And they don't want to stay in our area. They want to go to Chicago. They want to go to New York. They want to go to Los Angeles. They don't want to stay in this area. But y'all can't support them either now. You hear it every day on the news.
Why is it? I have one more question for you. Why is it that it is so unclear? I heard what you just said. You said that they're coming into the country illegally and then they're just released. But then you talk to other folks and they say, no, they're here legally in this country. They're seeking asylum. They're going through the proper processes. When we look at the lack of resources, the long lines of waiting, the fact that towns and cities are inundated right now with no end in sight, no way for all these folks to work legally, why do you think that we're not all on the same page about this? What's the issue?
I don't know what the agenda is, but I mean, we have enough problems in our own country right now with homelessness and veterans, and yet we keep saying that we tell these people not to come, and that's just the opposite. They're coming. And like I said, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if they're secretly being paid by our federal government, that we'll find out 5 years from now when we find some memo or something, or what. But the stream is coming and it's nonstop.
Well, there's the cartel. There's that. There's the fentanyl crisis. There's that. And the fact that there's so much political and economic unrest in Venezuela. That's why we're seeing so many of those immigrants come into our country right now at record numbers we've never seen before. Mayor Don McLaughlin, what would you say the best thing is to do right now? Would you say that we need to start issuing some type of background checks so that people can work and be taxpayers in the country? Or do we need to deport more people?
No, if we're going to let these people into our country, and that's what we're doing, then we should give them the right to take care of themselves, to get a job, pay taxes. And those that are looking for the American dream, that's what this country was built on, and that's what we should give them the opportunity to do, is get a job and do that. Right now, they're issued a piece of paper that says if they go get a job, they could be deported immediately. How are these people supposed to take care of themselves? How are the women supposed to take care of their families that came over? But these men, what's going to happen? They're going to end up starving, end up working for nothing. And what are they going to do? They're going to turn to crime or whatever to survive.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.